Let's get started. Bears and Packers this coming Sunday. I'm expecting a win here. I will be very, very shocked if we lose this game. With the Bears win here, we win the NFC North with 2 weeks left to go. And I have a hunch the Bears is going to be bearing down against these Green Bay Packers. As we all know from the Week 1 game against Bears and Packers, the Bears had a 20 nothing or 23 nothing lead, and the Packers came back to win the game 24-23. I'm not expecting that this time. The Bears is just going to go full throttle from the start of the game, and they're not going to be letting up against the Packers. One of the keys from the Bears was the Bears had a chance to win the game late in that first game, and Kyle Fuller dropped the ball that was right in front of him. That would be an interception. That would have ended the game for the Packers, and the Bears would have won that game, but that didn't happen. So I'm expecting a bounce back game for the Bears this week. This coming up game, the Bears has to not turn over the football. Mitchell Trubisky was lucky last week. Had a little bit of luck that he turned the ball over 3 times with 3 interceptions. That the Bears defense bailed out the offense last week against the Rams. We cannot turn over the football. Number 2 is we ran the ball. We ran the ball constant. We have to run the ball against the Packers. We have to keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. We gotta run the football. It has to be done. We have to run it We have to run it and run it and run it. Even though we don't get no yardage, just keep on pounding the ball and keep Aaron Rodgers on the sidelines. That is also another key. We have to get the ground game going throughout this game. Defense, I'm expecting our defense to play well. We shouldn't have any problems with the Green Bay offense. Our defense played outstanding last week against the Rams in the cold, and I'm fully expecting the Bears is just going to turn up the juice against the Packers. They knew what happened in Week 1 of the season, and they're not going to probably do that again. They're going to be relentless. They're going to continue to put the gas pedal throughout the game and contend the Green Bay Packers at bay. So I'm expecting a win here. A Bears win. We get the division. Even though the Bears lose this game, the Vikings lose, and the Washington Redskins lose, the Bears get a playoff berth. But a win here, the Bears wins the division. Green Bay Packers will be out of the playoff contention. So that would be good. And if somehow, some way, that if the Bears can somehow, if they were able to win the division, they got 2 games left. They still have a chance to maybe to sneak in and get the first round bye. They have a chance to get the first round bye. The Bears have to win the next 2 games, and the Rams would have to lose their next 3 games. If it so happens that the Rams loses 1 more game, if they go 12-4 and the Bears finish 12-4, the Bears have the tiebreaker over the Rams. And they will get the number 2 seed if they will win their next 3 games. If the Bears can win their next 3 games, and if the Rams loses 1 of those 2 games, if they lose 1 of those 2 games, the Bears will get the number 2 seed. So that might be a possibility that the Bears can get the number 2 seed if they're able to do that. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm expecting a win here, and hopefully we'll get the W and move on from the Packers, get the Packers out of the playoffs, end their season. Then we just have to concentrate on the Minnesota Vikings to see if they have a chance to get in. They have a chance to get in, but they have at least a few more tougher games than what the Bears have. So maybe by the last game of the season, the fact that Minnesota Vikings may need a win their last game to get into the playoffs. But if the Bears still has a chance to get the number 2 seed against the Rams, they have a good shot at getting it. If the Rams loses one more game, the Bears has the tiebreaker over the St. Louis Rams. They have the same record. The Bears will get the number 2 seed, and the Rams will get the number 3 seed, and the Bears will get a home playoff game in the second round. So that is crucial. Anyways, this is the Game is On 100. I am out later. And one other thing I need to mention that there was being reported on the news is that this disgruntled Packer fan got a sanction from the federal courts that he is not to wear any Packer garb on the Bears sidelines. There was an injunction placed by the federal court allowing this Packers fan to not wear his Green Bay garb on the sidelines for the Bears Packers game, because this guy is a Packers fan. He has Packers tickets and Bears season tickets, and with the perks of being a season ticket holder, you can pay extra money to be on the sideline. He's paying the extra money to be on the sideline for Bears games, dressing up in his Packers garb. So the federal courts didn't allow that to happen, so they told him he cannot wear his Packer garb when he's on the field and the sideline for the Bears. He has all the right to wear his Packer garb in the stands. That is not a problem. He can do that. He has the right to do that all he wants, but not on the field. That can't just not happen. That is just a distraction, trying to make a name for himself. It's just a distraction from the Bears and all their beliefs and all that. And if one thing I know for certain, if George Halas was alive right now, he wouldn't tolerate any of that shit. What that Packers fan is doing, dressed in Packers garb, being on the sideline where the Bears are doing all their pre-games, their warm-ups, and all that, just to be stand out from the rest. That's not going to happen. George Halas wouldn't tolerate that shit. And that is a gimme right there, because you know George Halas is one hard-nosed son of a bitch. From the history of the Bears, George Halas, his mentality was kick the other team's ass. That's his mentality. That always has been his mentality when he was coach of the Bears and also as the owner of the Chicago Bears. He took that philosophy till his death in 1983. Anyways, I got that little bit of the tidbit out there. So this is the Game is On 100. I am out later.